Hello and welcome to your 30-minute practice for today. This practice is going to focus on what we call yoga chill. 30 minutes to decompress, slow down, perhaps resetting your nervous system, which tends to be in more of a sympathetic response most of our day, ready for anything. And we want to get it back into a more parasympathetic state where we can rest and digest. So using this practice at the end of a day, or maybe in the middle of the day if you've got a break and you just want to let some things fall away, this would be a really great one to turn to. Now you'll notice I have a few extra props today. I have a blanket, a bolster, a couple blocks. You don't need to have all of these. If you only have one, I'd probably suggest the blanket. So find what you need and we'll get started. We'll start with some upside down access to help flush the brain and the blood flow. But before we head there, just take your hands into your heart center and close your eyes for a moment. Gently bring your chin towards your chest, bowing your head to your hands or your mind to your body. Acknowledge yourself for making it to the mat, not always to move vigorously, but often to simply move in ways that reignite and reinvigorate how you feel. There are times when we want to move quickly to distract, and then there's times when we move more slowly to become more aware. The awareness is the key. And as we become more aware on the mat and in our practice, we become more aware out in the world. Release your hands back to your lap. You can blink your eyes to open and gradually come into all fours. We'll do a few gentle movements and then we'll do some deep release for the nervous system. Start with a simple cat-cow. Toes can be tucked or pointed. Pull your heart forward, breath in, shoulders back. Exhale, round it out, chin to chest. Inhale, pull forward. Exhale, round it out. 2 more. And at the end of the second one, come back to neutral. Option here, big toes together, knees open, hips towards heels, child's pose. So we're bringing the head below the heart. Forearms rest, arms relax. Now, if you want to stay closer to the floor, stay here. If you're able to come up into a forward fold fairly comfortably, so you don't want to feel like you're straining to fold here, but you'll have your feet hip distance. And again, your head is below your heart. But this one's a little bit more intense for some if your hamstrings are really tight or if your back is really sensitive. But wherever you are, sigh and let your shoulders relax. If you're in a forward fold, catch opposite elbow or wrist and let the arms dangle. If you're in child's pose, just softening the elbows, relaxing the head of the arm bone, the shoulders heavy. As you exhale, melt more between or towards your thighs. Feel your spine decompress. Feel the blood flow coming into the top of the head. Now in your fold, you'll release your fingertips to the floor or to blocks. If you're in child's pose, come up to all fours. Halfway lift in your forward fold. Exhale, bow again, slide back to child's pose if you're there. Do that again, tabletop or halfway lift. And bow forward. And now we're going to meet in a lunge position. So if you're in all fours, you'll step your right foot forward. If you're at the top of your mat, step your left foot back. If you've got a prop or props to use, frame the front foot and give yourself a nice long lunge here. Back toes pointed or tucked. Set the knee by pressing into the top of the foot. Full breath. Shoulders back. And now from here, fingertips on the floor or hands on your prop, you're going to pull your hips back and then pull your heart forward. Now you can keep the hands down as an option, or as you come forward, you're going to bring the hands back. And as you inhale, you'll reach forward, exhale, pull back. Now the motion is the same whether the hands are on the block or not. You're just over accentuating the movement. Do as much or as little as you choose, becoming aware of every little access through the shoulders, through the head, the neck, the upper back. One more. Now we'll switch sides. You can either lift the back knee, step forward, or if you're on all fours, you're stepping your right foot back and bringing your left knee forward. Line up, bring the floor up to meet you. Start with some simple open inhale, back exhale, starting with hands on the blocks or on the floor at any height, with the option to accentuate inhale up, exhale back. And if you maybe release the blocks only on one side, but use them as a touch point, that's sort of how I like to do it. Because if you're feeling like balance is an issue, we don't want to accentuate tension. We want to accentuate freedom. Two more. Now, as you come forward, we're coming to all fours. So you'll move your blocks to the side, come back to that tabletop-like position. Walk your hands one hand distance forward and a little wider, and then lower all the way to your belly. Now on the belly, taking a little gentle cobra, forehead on the mat, shoulders roll back, lift up, inhale. Pull forward and down, exhale. Shoulders back, head and chest lift together. Try not to sniff forward, but pull your jaw back. Feel how you have more strength when you incorporate the length in the neck. Do one more. And then release. Tuck the toes into a puppy dog position. So deep stretch back. Arms are lifted in this case, so adding a little bit more power and strength. Widen the shoulders. Come up onto all fours. Now bring your right knee up to the left edge and your right hip to the mat. We're going to come into a deer position in our hips. So your right shin is coming up and around, and then your left shin along the far edge of your mat. You want to make a box with the front leg and half a box with the back leg. Now, if you've got a bolster, a blanket, something to lean into, again, bringing the floor up to meet you, bring it forward. Roll your left hip forward first, reach across the knee, and then lower the elbow in that direction. Now you can keep your right hand to stabilize, or bring your forearm down, or you can lower your whole head and heart in that direction in a more passive way, but still weight onto that hip. So you're feeling the outside of the hip and feeding and fueling with more breath. Deep inhale. Complete exhale. If you start to lose the stretch, move a little more forward towards the top edge of your mat. Wherever you are, support your head, whether it's with your hands, whether it's with a block. Making sure the jaw, the throat, and the neck can all be in a more relaxed phase. Shoulders relax back. Whenever you notice, simply invite them back. And you may notice it many times through your practice, hence why I repeat over and over, relax your jaw, your tongue, your shoulders. Unnecessary tension. Start to press your way back up. Lean out to the side and simply sway your knees a little side to side on the long edge of your mat. Now you can turn to face forward with the left shin. I'm simply going to roll to reset the other side. If you're sitting in the similar fashion as I am, feel free to do so. Just remember to bring your prop with you so you have something to lean into. Now realign into the feet, into the knees, so active feet, and then roll the hip as you lean out to the side, and then reach across. So get as long on that right side as you can. Then forearm comes down, pause, take a breath. Maybe walking a little more over the knee. Finding the angle where you feel the most. If you want more, keep angling towards the top of your knee and the top of that shin. And if you want a more passive release here, you're in need of some rest. Make sure your head is supported, your jaw relaxes, and your shoulders melt back. Full breath. Allowing yourself some time here. Time to absorb the benefits and the feelings, the sensations. And they may not be comfortable at first, but discomfort is part of finding and growing in a new way. A few more breaths here, melting in the hip. If you feel like you're rounding back, come up a little higher again. Wiggle your waist, your hips, or your hips stay back and your heart wiggles forward. Your ribs come forward. Your shoulders, again, melt back. Because every time we move, we're incorporating more than just one part of our body. There's the accessory muscles. And if we haven't been using some of them in a while, or we've been overusing others, that's what we want to become aware of. Now gradually start to press your way back up. Lean out to the side. And then bring the knees around and do a little side to side swing. Now you'll come into a tall seat, but with the legs extended left and right. Hands onto the shins, tall at center. Exhale over the right leg. Inhale, tall at center. Exhale over your left leg. Tall at center. Think shoulders down, eyes closed, and follow the sensations in the body. Use the hands by your sides or on the knees or the shins, helping to direct this fluid action. Relax your jaw, but breathe deeply, Ujjayi. Come back up to center. Bring your left foot into your right leg, facing your extended leg. Bend that knee, pull it in a little so you get nice and tall. And as you reach your heart in that direction, reach your left hand to the outside of the shin to create a bit of rotation. And then maybe catch the outside of the foot over time or the outside of the shin and plug your left shoulder back. Your right arm's just going to caress either the floor or the block, so you have something to rest on. So if you're a little higher up, just bring the floor higher up so that you have something to lean into that lets the shoulder remind to go back. Now at any height here, you want to lean your heart and then draw your jaw back so that your head's not falling forward. But as you feel the length, as you gradually lower, let your head come down too. Now slowly come up to center. Switch out your legs. So left leg out, right leg in. Bring your prop around with you. Bend into that knee, turn to face. And as you extend, start to extend the leg, reach across. Now when we go across, sometimes the arm disconnects, so plug it back in. And then your forearm can come down onto the block. Hand to the outside of the ankle, the shin, or even the knee. Lead from your heart. And then eventually letting your head descend. Now, if you feel strained to stay here, back off a little. There's no need in forcing to entice that sympathetic response. We want that parasympathetic rest, digest. So coming into an ease in the body. But sometimes to get there, we have a little discomfort as long as there's no pain or too much pressure. Gradually come all the way back up. Now this next part, if you've got a couple blocks, you'll align them end to end and then place a blanket over top. So you're sort of creating a little bolster. If you have a bolster, you're free to use it here, and you're lifting the head and the heart off of the floor. So if your lower back doesn't like this articulation, you'll take a pillow or a cushion and also prop up your tail. That's what I'm going to do so that the hips, the heart, and the head are all on the same trajectory. Then widen your feet and let your knees fall in. This is a great way to decompress your sacrum. Now we're going to focus on the arms. So move any extra things out of the way that you might knock over. Bring your fingertips onto your shoulders. Sigh the breath and melt over whatever props you're on, because it does take a minute for your head to fully release your jaw, your neck, your throat, your chest. Take a big breath, bring your elbows towards each other, Then in front of your face, circle them wide to the sides and try to touch the floor by your sides. So circle open to the left and to the right. Deep breath. And now we're going to change this slightly. You're going to bring your palms together in front of your face, your elbows and your forearms together, and the fingertips are reaching towards the floor behind your head. Now they may or may not touch the floor, but you'll peel your elbows wide like you're opening up a banana and then slide the backs of the hands along the floor, down by your hips, and come all the way back up. Forearms together, reach over the head. Elbows peel apart slowly, and then glide the hands, the forearms along the floor. Do that 5 more times. Breathe in. Widening out, breath out. Creating space in the front of the chest, in the shoulder girdle. If this doesn't feel good, accommodate what you need. You can do this flat on the floor also if you don't have any props. One more. Now pause wide, arms out to the side. So we need to take one more to get the arms open. Reach out left and right till the elbows lift up, and then soften your elbows, letting your chest relax. One of the best things you can do, especially if you work at a desk or on a computer a lot of your day, is this daily. Set a timer, 3, 4, 5 minutes. Staying open. Inviting the front body a little more spaciously. Now let's tap into the breath cycles for these next few. Double inhale, a long exhale. So in through the nose, in through the nose, out through the mouth or the nose. In through the nose, in through the nose, and out. Three more. Allow the breath to melt away. To simply feel your body's weight. Gradually finding that opening more and more across the front of the chest. Gently begin to move your feet towards each other. Stretching your left arm up behind you, rolling to your right side. Try not to disrupt this deep connection. Slide your block or bolster out from behind. And come into a neutral place flat on your mat. Now the prop you've been using, we're going to tuck it underneath the tail. So whether a block, a blanket, combination, bolster, lift the hips up, and now your hips are above your heart, and we'll take the feet up one at a time. And if you have a wall close by that's blank, you could always place your feet onto the wall. Let your palms again fall open back into that expanded chest. Point and flex your feet a few times with gratitude and thank them for all they've done, for as far as they've carried you in your life. We don't thank our feet nearly enough. Then get still here. Sigh. Do 3 cycles of in, long, out. So big breath in, pause, another big breath in, pause, long breath out. Another big breath in, pause, big breath in, exhale. One more. Now this may get uncomfortable more quickly than on the reclined bolster or blocks. So if it does, just bring your knees in, then your feet flat to the floor. We're headed that way here in a moment. Bringing one knee in, then the other. Eventually both feet land. Slide off of your prop. Hips to the floor. Take a few breaths here. I'll take a really simple twist, and I would invite you to have a block nearby. And the reason for that is in this case, we'll extend the right leg. Block is on the right side. Hips to the right, knee rolls across to the left. And I want you to put the prop underneath your knee, even underneath your leg, so that it feels supported. And now you're in a nice supported twist to let the body soften the back ribs here, soften your shoulders to the mat, keeping the knee roughly at hip height. If you've got more space, you might go lower. Deep breath. When you take up the space around your mat, allow your body the opportunity to open up. Come back through center, both feet to flat, left leg out, block or bolster on the left side, hips to the right, knee across to the left, supported, arms open, deep breath. This is the beauty of props. And so often we think props are diminished or making the pose more diminished. It's not. It's enhancing the pose within your body on this day at this time and what you need. Come back through center when you're ready. Bring both knees in and stretch out to a final resting, full open Shavasana. Sigh. And soak in the benefits of your movements. Notice the quality of your breath. Expanded, relaxed, your face soft, your jaw dropped. I'll let you know when it's time to move again. Simply stay here. Let the stillness speak to you. Become more aware of what it is your body needs. Not what it wants, what it needs. Now, if you have time and nowhere to really rush off to, nothing to call you, then stay here. The benefits of Shavasana really come through at around 7 minutes to 10 minutes to 15 minutes. And if you want to set your own timer, definitely staying there a little longer will feel really good. Eventually, you'll roll to your right side and gradually back up to a tall seat. Bring your hands to your heart. Sigh the breath. Bow your head inward. Acknowledge the land in which you're practicing from. The time you've taken to move and breathe in ways that connect you more deeply to yourself and in turn more deeply to those who cross your path. I bow to your light. Namaste. Thank you for joining me to reset your nervous system with Yoga Chill. I look forward to seeing you soon.